Self-disclosure in relationships. So the question is, describe self-disclosure as a factor affecting attraction in romantic relationships. 16 marks. AO1. Self-disclosure refers to the information we choose to reveal about ourselves within a romantic relationship. The aim of self-disclosure is to increase intimacy, understanding, and empathy between two individuals. This is under the condition that the self-disclosure is reciprocal. Social penetration theory claims that the process of self-disclosure allows one person to penetrate deeper into the life of their partner, thus increasing intimacy and trust. Self-disclosure is limited at the start and is a gradual process that with reciprocity can strengthen a relationship. It is important for one to be selective with what they disclose. Researchers have proposed an onion analogy to illustrate this. As a relationship progresses, more layers of the onion are removed, presenting a deeper and more meaningful information being disclosed. Revealing intimate details about oneself at the beginning of a relationship may have detrimental effects. Too much intimate information may scare away the partner. Rees and Shaver suggest that there are two elements of the social penetration theory: breadth and depth. There is a positive correlation between the increasing quality and trust within a relationship, coinciding with the breadth and depth of a relationship. Breadth is narrow at the start of a relationship because too much information may be off-putting. As the relationship develops, depth increases. Therefore, a successful relationship is one with reciprocal self-disclosure and balanced breadth and depth. A3. Support comes from a research study. One strength of self-disclosure is support from research studies by Sprecher and Hendrick. They found strong correlations between several measures of satisfaction and self-disclosure in heterosexual couples. Men and women who used self-disclosure and those who believed their partners are disclosed were more satisfied and committed to their romantic relationship. This increased the validity and support for the concept of self-disclosure being a key component of committed romantic relationships. However, a weakness of this research is that they used correlational study. So, a methodological issue with this study is that it used a correlational study to establish a relationship between two covariables. This method provides a limited support for the theory because it doesn't necessarily show that self-disclosure results in good relationships. Other factors could be involved. Due to the fact that cause and effect conclusions cannot be made, this reduces the validity of the research and its support for the self-disclosure theory. A weakness of this theory is the lack of real-life application, as it is culturally biased. So a limitation with this theory is it fails to apply to all cultures. By not being a universal theory, it risks imposing ethic on other cultures. Tang et al. Concluded that people in the US, which is an individualist culture, self-disclose significantly more sexual thoughts and feelings than people in China, which is a collectivist culture. Both levels of self-disclosure are linked to relationship satisfaction in the two different cultures, but nevertheless the pattern of self-disclosure is different. It suggests that self-disclosure may not be the most important or only factor. This limits self-disclosure as a theory because accurate generalizations cannot be made. A further weakness of this research is that they only used heterosexual couples, which cannot be generalized to modern society.